Topics on the Condo Xpert radio show because it's important and it's always good to learn more information about everything under the sun. Really, seriously. Information is so incredibly valuable. It really seriously is. And, granted, you can surf the internet and you can go into Google and Wikipedia and you can talk to your friends and so on and so on and so on. But really, the best advice, the best information you can always receive is always going to be from the professional. And that's why you will always hear from different professionals in different fields on the Condo Xpert radio show, because that's what we're all about. So today I actually started thinking about, how this all prompted actually. I started thinking about, insurances, like we've covered, fire, home insurance, condo insurance and all this. But I've never really stopped long enough to cover critical care insurance and life insurance plans and really take a look at the whole life, health, and financial planning side of the industries, and how it would actually affect your life. Well, guess what? SecureLink Insurance Group, which was established back in 1997, they have a phenomenal program. And today I have Lee Burton with me so that we can discuss life insurance and critical health insurance. So, Lee, welcome so much to the show. I know that you're an account executive with SecureLink, correct?
Yes, thank you, Linda, for having me here today, first of all. I want to talk about critical illness and life insurance and how it works and how it can benefit families, executives, business people. Critical illness today, Linda, is a great product. It's the new product of the millennium. In the sense that it protects the individual or individuals on a tax-free lump sum basis. If any illness, if they survive one of 24 illnesses, the individual or the company is getting a tax-free lump sum. The critical illness product today is underwritten a little bit differently than life insurance. They do look at family history, which is very important in the underwriting process. However, when you are approved, the product speaks for itself.
Well, I think, one of the key things is that making life affordable for people, during their times when they have a healthy career is one side of the equation. I mean, every day you get people that are losing their jobs and whatnot. And I think that a lot of the stress nowadays does definitely influence their health. I mean, that's been proven over and over.
100%. You're 100% right. I'll share a quick story. I won't say the name, but I'll tell you the story. An individual who is a client, very healthy individual, very successful in the business world. He's a preferred client, never had health issues. He did get the critical illness product, and 6 months into the tender of the plan, he had 5 heart attacks, 5 minor heart attacks. And he's just 51 years old. So that just goes to show you it can happen to anybody, anytime, any place. And the beautiful thing, like I said, about this product is it's a tax-free lump sum, and all the underwriting is done at the beginning of the application rather than if it's like at a bank where it's done when the claim happens.
Right. Well, it's interesting because when you've got all sorts of information brochures, it outlines all the different living benefit solutions that are, and it actually outlines 24, because you mentioned 24.
24.
So it's funny, when I heard that number first, I'm thinking 24 illnesses, because, we always think of the main ones, the main ones come, of course, is heart attacks and strokes, and I guess kidney would be, cancer, of course. Those are big ones. But, sometimes people don't really think of the loss of limbs or loss of speech.
Yeah.
Then you've got some others is the motor neuron disease. I'm not exactly sure what that even is, to be honest with you.
That's to do with the brain. Excuse me. It could be a form of brain aneurysm, along those lines, which is very interesting. But you need to remember, too, in those areas, it can get very one small illness, a brain aneurysm, can turn into lots of other things. So people need to remember that. Another big illness that is becoming very popular with claims is multiple sclerosis. MS.
Really? That's actually becoming more common nowadays?
Well, I've had 3 or 4 clients in the last 3 or 4 years that have claimed due to that illness, and the company's paid. And that's always reassuring, too. I mean, society has created such a negative attitude towards all kinds of insurance, whether it's car insurance, life insurance, critical illness, that, oh boy, they're not going to pay. Well, that's not the case, because these companies that we deal with at SecureLink, they're very reputable companies. Like Canada Life has been around for 155 plus years. Their head office is in Toronto. We deal with the Manulifes of the world, the Industrial Alliances. These companies are big players in the insurance game. We as agents are making sure the product that we deal with and the company, they're very user-friendly to the clients, and that's what we want as agents for our clients. It is a great product. It truly is.
Well, I have to admit, there was one thing when I checked through it, I noticed that it had mentioned a surgery advance, which is up to $15,000
Yes.
on a critical illness benefit if you're diagnosed with a critical illness. So I guess, so that would be monies that they paid up front. Because, a lot of people are concerned. You can take, of course, we have a fantastic, medical health system in Canada. We're very, very fortunate. Every time you turn around, you hear these horror stories of even like across our border here, as far as what it would cost to be in hospitals and so on. But over and above that, there could be additional costs relating to any type of surgeries, just depending on what's going on, and maybe if you want to get special treatments or whatever that could combat that illness that you have?
You know what, Linda, you're 100% right. One feature that we have, and I'll quickly talk about it, we have the best doctors feature. So what that means is if I'm diagnosed with one of those 24 illnesses and I'm looking to find expert opinions, not just in Toronto or Canada, but across the world, this product will source out the best doctors with the illness that I have, and give me that option. If I want to use those doctors, I am more than able to go and see those doctors for whatever condition I have or I've been diagnosed with, which I think is a great feature because, we're never prepared. You're never prepared for that illness, whether it's cancer, heart attack, multiple sclerosis, serious burns, which, by the way, is paid for if it's a real serious burning level. We're never prepared for that. And, 95% of the homes I sit in, even business owners, they're not prepared for this sort of thing. So we, as agents, are trying to educate people about this critical illness product because it is a fairly new product. It hasn't been around for, hundreds of years. The big feature, I think, today, the selling feature, is the return of premium. It's a beautiful feature. It's a forced saving plan, if you really want to look at it that way. And if an individual outlives the plan, then they are getting all their premiums back that they have paid into the plan when the plan expires.
And so, if you think about the added benefits, it's almost it's a kind of a weird way to look at it, but indirectly it's, you either put it in the bank and you get 0.00% nothing interest.
Exactly.
Or you put it into this and, hoping, God will, that everything is fine and that you move on and you don't have these kind of experiences. Then actually that becomes a huge benefit for them later on. But, interesting what you said is as well, networking out there, like I really, and I have clients that have come into the same situation where all of a sudden, they found out that they have something that they have to deal with. It is a critical type of medical condition that they have. And they don't have the research. And, sometimes they don't want to go around talking to all their friends because they really don't want to. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want sympathy. They don't feel any different.
Yeah.
So it's not a case where they're looking for somebody to say, oh, geez, I'm so sorry to hear that. I remember many, many years ago, a very, very good friend of mine, and I'm going back to when my kids were 10 years old playing hockey. And there was a very good friend of mine, and her husband was diagnosed with melanoma. And he wasn't given very long to live, and it was a tough scene. But if the one thing that I do remember vividly is that when she was to come to the arena, most people didn't know how to deal with that. I'm going back like 20 years here. And, most people, as opposed to saying, I'm sorry to hear that or whatever, or they get into that sympathy mode.
They avoid.
Yes, and they don't want to even say hello. You know, they rather go in the other direction because they don't really want to talk about it. And at that time, you know me, I'm I'm always thinking outside of the box. I don't like to be any typical anything. So what I did was, I actually, when he did pass away, I sent her a whole slew of balloons. I actually sent her a couple of dozen of balloons. Because you see, the thing is that, you know, there's always different ways to look at things. She was so appreciative. Every time I ever saw her at the arena, I was always chatting about everything under the sun and never really changing. If anything, trying to make everything lighthearted, because that's what you need.
100%. And you know what? I do agree with you, Linda. You know, people get diagnosed with one of these illnesses and it becomes, people are worried. They don't know how to handle it. And what this product does is it gives those people that comfort zone in knowing that they have money or some money to get them over the hump that they need to get over. Whether it's a big hump, a small hump, but if there's some sort of life-changing situation, at least they have the finances to help them through those rainy days. And I will tell you this, you know, today there's women executives, women presidents, you know, successful real estate as real estate agents as yourself, and the women today are huge in the business market, and they've been in it for a long time. So I have a lot of conversations with women out there in the sense that, hey guys, you know, don't think that you're invincible, because you're not, because you're going to struggle through these illnesses that are very evident to the males. You guys are going to go through, and I've had three or four women clients that have gone through it too, which it's not great, but it's good in the sense that the women now are becoming educated and saying, oh my gosh, we need this stuff too. It's not just for men. It's not just the men that are having the heart attacks. It's women are having the breast cancer and the heart attacks and multiple sclerosis. I mean, they're having all of these illnesses too. So I think it's very important that individuals reach out and talk about it. And no one wants to talk about this stuff, and that's the unfortunate thing, until it's too late, or a friend like yourself, where an individual has a friend and then they start talking about it. But most times it's too late then.
Well, yeah, and you know, it's good to get the word out on things too. You know, be 100%. An advocate for whatever you're dealing with and help. You know, it only promotes goodwill all the way around. On that note, we're going to take a break. You're listening to Linda Pinizzotto of the Condo Xpert, and we will be right back. I am actually speaking today with Lee Burton, the account executive of Secure Link Financial Group.
Linda Pinizzotto. She's not your typical realtor. She's your real estate counselor, teacher, and advisor. Whether it's a house, townhome, or condo, when you're ready, she's your negotiator. With 34 years of experience, Linda guarantees that you have the real estate knowledge you need to make the right decisions. Call Linda Pinizzotto at Sutton Group Quantum Realty, 416-561-7373, or visit her at lindapinizzotto.com.
Hello there. You're listening to Linda Pinizzotto at the Condo Xpert, and we're here at the studio at the Hayes FM. I'd love to hear from you. If you have a story, you want to be a guest on my show, give me an email, linda@lindapinizzotto, PINIZZOTTO.com. You have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Oh, my computer crashed.
Oh no, I've got a virus.
No way, no internet connection. Do you need help? Call IT Mayday, 647-977-7113. ITMayday.com.